Watch the new Newlywed Game today at 4.
You know, Jared, I was so caught up in trying to help Tyler that I didn't understand. Not until this morning.
Understand what?
Before I ruined the evening last night by going off on a tangent about Tyler's problems, I was having an absolutely wonderful time.
You don't have to say that on my account. You thanked me last evening. Now, let's just leave it at that.
You don't believe me, do you? That I had a wonderful time with you last night.
I don't know what I believe.
How do I convince you?
Answer me simply. Would you have gone out with me if I hadn't been the man who knew Victor Markham?
Yes, I would have. And I'll tell you something else.
What's that?
I'd be very happy if I never heard the name Victor Markham ever again.
Lady, that's okay with me.
Oh. Wait, stop, quick.
Is there a problem, Mrs. Denning?
No, just take me to my room, quickly.
Thank you.
What for?
For your company last night, for the dinner in your home, for everything that you've ever done for me.
No thanks are necessary.
I disagree. And as I've said before, words like thank you and please don't come easy to me. And the actions come easier.
Well, you've been reading about the crime commission. Here I didn't think these things interested you.
I didn't say I wasn't interested. I just said I couldn't give any help.
Well, I doubt that anyone can anymore.
You don't think that your son's going to lose this battle, do you?
No, I don't. But by this time, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler's already handed in his resignation.
I suggest we turn the floor over to Captain McCandless for this, his hopefully last appearance with the crime committee.
Captain, are you ready to make your presentation?
Chairman Lawrence, esteemed senators and congressmen. First, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to speak to you directly. A few months ago, a joint congressional committee headed by Senator Edmund Lawrence and by an act of Congress formed this committee to investigate criminal activities in the United States. At that time, I was offered the position of chief investigator, an offer which I accepted with a great sense of honor and responsibility. The purpose of this committee was to investigate, indict, and convict any and all individuals and companies responsible for organized criminal actions against the people of the United States of America. It is to that end that this committee was organized and has functioned over the past several months.
Is this where he drapes himself in the flag?
While some individuals would discount our activities as petty and insignificant, I argue that any such committee so constituted by Congress is anything but. And as for the charges that we have accomplished nothing except the wasting of taxpayers' money, I am here today to completely and totally deny such short-sighted and self-serving accusations.
God.
Agnes of God, rated PG-13. Now in select cities, starts September 27th nationwide.
Brooks, oh.
Find you here. Here, let me help you.
No, don't get on your clothes. I got enough on me for both of us.
I sure have. You've been at this all day?
Oh, the crack of dawn. It looks like I'm going to be here till late tonight. The unveiling of the mural is tomorrow. I have 1,000 things I have not done.
You're not nervous, are you?
Oh, nervous. Me? I'm terrified. Oh, Brooks. Look, what if they don't like it?
Well, you know, people are rarely sent to jail for bad reviews.
You don't like it.
I didn't say that.
All right, tell me the truth. Now, go ahead, I can take it, I think.
Well, I think your mural is extraordinary.
Oh.
I'm particularly impressed by the way you didn't sacrifice detail for scale, or size for emotional impact. It really is something, Kelly.
You really mean that? Okay, that's one down. Now, all I have to do is please the art critics, the bureaucrats at the Office of Education, the Congressional Committee who awarded me the commission, and then the general public.
I think you're aiming at pleasing all of the people all of the time, Kelly. That can't be done.
I can't do that, huh?
No, but you could start by pleasing your number one unbiased critic, me. I've come to take you away from all of this. How about lunch on me?
Lunch? I can't even breathe if he's asking me to lunch.
Now, wait a minute. You know, it's rumored that Michelangelo actually took lunch breaks, and look what he accomplished. Now, I'll have you back on your scaffold in an hour, hour and a half max, I promise.
Boy, I really could use a break. Oh, but look at me.
Smock's come off. You've got to change your clothes, I
Yeah,
hope.
but my hands, my face.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Oh, it's on my hair, Brooke.
Shh, silence. Now, come here. Hold still. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll have you presentable enough to face the Queen herself.
Oh.
Hold still.
I knew Tyler was going to be facing some flack this morning, but resigned. He never told me anything about that.
I didn't know about it. Apparently, Julie and Tyler were up half the night discussing the situation, and Tyler felt this was the only thing to do.
Well, you've already seen him this morning?
Yes. My father and I were with him before he left for the hearing. Now, he still felt that he didn't have any hard and fast evidence to present to the committee, so he feels that the only thing to do is to resign.
Well, you know, coming up empty after just a few months isn't so unusual. And anybody who's read the papers knows that.
Well, anybody apparently doesn't include members of the Congressional Committee.
I really am surprised. And from what I've read about your son, from everything you've told me, Tyler doesn't strike me as being a quitter.
Oh, he's not. Well, Tyler's going to go on with this investigation one way or the other.
What do you mean, on his own?
Unfortunately, the public and the press won't see it that way because they don't know. As far as the world will know, Tyler McCandless failed completely.
The fact is, gentlemen, this committee is on the verge of exposing a network of organized crime that reaches into the upper boardrooms and executive offices of some of the largest corporations in America, and possibly into the halls of Congress itself.
On the verge, if the committee will indulge me. Captain, with all due respect, I think we all have heard enough of your excuses and promises. What we want, and what the public demands right now, are facts. Cold, hard facts.
You are not interested in facts, Congressman. All you care about is some platform where you can discredit this committee and me personally.
Which is exactly what you deserve. What have you accomplished in all these months? Nothing, isn't that right?
Nothing I release to you or anyone else without proof.
Which you can't get, obviously.
Mr. Chairman, I request a short recess.
Whoa, Justin, what are you doing? Trying to save your grandson's hide once
Granddad,
again?
stay out of this.
You read this. I'm sorry for the interruption, Senator Lawrence, but we have information here that's very important to this committee.
Captain McCandless?
I know this is irregular, but we do request a 15-minute recess to examine this evidence, sir.
Captain, is this how you've been running your investigation? Well, no wonder you haven't gotten anywhere.
I think that we can grant Captain McCandless 15 minutes.
Yeah, great, Ed.
This committee is now officially recessed until 12:35 p.m.
What's going on here?
Mark, you are not going to believe this.
Take a break, America.
Okay, is it time?
Mrs. Clay, can I help you? Yeah, hi, Wendy. I am looking for my mother's room. Do you know where it is?
Right here. Mr. Rosary. Thank you very much.
Mama? Hi, how are you?
Oh, Sloan, darling, what are you doing here?
You called me, remember?
Well, of course I remember, but I certainly didn't expect you to just drop everything and rush to my side, though I should have expected it.
Mother, you told me you were being rushed to the hospital. Where else did you expect me to go, huh?
Oh, you are such a dear, darling daughter. The very best.
Mama, what is it? What is wrong with you?
Oh, it's nothing I want to bother you about, dear. Would you close those blinds, please?
Mother, I am here, and I am concerned. Now, tell me, what is wrong with you?
Well, it's the headaches. They've come back again. And I'm so afraid that it's the tumor again.
Well, what did the doctor say?
Oh, you know doctors. She said there's not any sign of it, but I think she's just trying to reassure me.
Well, have they run any tests?
Well, they're going to. I'm sure I'll be here forever. I don't even want to think about it. I'd much rather talk about you. Now, tell me, now that you have seen that Harper woman, are you absolutely convinced this whole mess is over?
Mother, I am here to talk about you.
Oh, I don't want to talk about me. Trey is not still seeing that little tramp, is he?
No. No, he doesn't really have a choice.
Good. Then everything's fine.
Everything is exactly the way I want it to be right now.
Oh, perfect. That's all I wanted to know. Now, you have spent enough time bothering about your mother. You have a party to organize, a very important party, so I want you to get going right back to New York City and get started on it.
Mother, if you really need me,
Nonsense. That's what hospitals are for. You run along.
All right. All right, but I want you to call me the minute you get your test results back. Agreed?
The very minute.
All right. And you get some rest, okay?
I will, darling.
Mom, look, I know that you were very upset when Clarissa asked me to be matron of honor at her wedding.
And I reacted horribly, Sloan. I do hope that you will forgive me. It's just these headaches. They've been so terrible. They've made me so irritable. I know that you will make the right decision.
Good afternoon, Miss Denning. Ready to go down for your CAT scan?
Is that painful?
Not at all.
Well, I'm ready. Bye-bye, dear.
Bye. I will call you this afternoon.
Let me help you into your chair, Mrs. Denning.
Oh, that's all right, young man. I can do it very well. You know those people that we saw in the solarium?
Mm-hmm.
I recognize Clarissa McCandless, of course. Who was that handsome man she was talking to?
Well, that's our resident celebrity, Jarrett Morgan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been paralyzed for 10 years. Dr. McCandless did some real magic on him. The guy is already moving his feet. Now, if we got some bets going that he's going to walk out of here, my bet is Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Now, you let me know the minute you hear anything about the hearing.
I will.
Oh, excuse me, but aren't you Jarrett Morgan?
Well, I might be. Who are you?
My name is Megan Belvoir. I'm a freelance journalist. The word is that you've made medical history, Mr. Morgan, and I'd like to interview you.
You want an interview? Talk to him. He's the miracle worker around here.
So, this is the famous Dr. Thomas McCandless.
Oh, well, I don't know about famous, but yes. Who are you?
She's Megan Belvoir, a journalist.
A journalist who's been trying to reach you for weeks, Dr. McCandless. You're one elusive man.
I can be, yes. Listen, would you both excuse us? I'd like to have a word with Miss Belvoir in private.
Sure, Doc.
Now, before you say anything, yes, I have gotten your messages, and I have one for you. Stop harassing my nurse, the hospital PR department, and my family. Is that clear enough?
That's not harassment, Doctor. That's persistence. And if you had the common courtesy to return my calls, none of that would have been necessary. All I want is an interview.
I don't want to give you one. At least not yet. You see, Mr. Morgan's case is inconclusive.
But nothing short of a miracle, nonetheless. You've reconnected the nerves, Dr. McCandless, and they've begun to regenerate. He can move his feet. Now, certainly you'll agree that that's the sort of good news people love.
Which is exactly what I'm afraid of.
Why? There are millions of people who are unable
Yes,
to walk.
and Mr. Morgan's story will give them false hope.
But not if I make it clear that this is a unique case. Unique, but a breakthrough at the same time. Oh, it'll be a fascinating story. Even better than I had originally thought.
Oh, yes, and why is that, Miss Belvoir?
For a lot of reasons.
I see. You thought of a title for this article yet? No? How about, crippled doctor works miracle cure on paraplegic? Kind of catchy, huh? We can forget about it because it is not going to happen.
I told you before this committee even started, Edmund, McCandless was wrong for this job.
So you did, Trace, so you did.
And this is nothing more than one last dramatic stand. I mean, the man is pathetic.
Senator Lawrence, we're ready to resume.
Oh, finally.
While our case is still ongoing, still with major work to be done, I can announce today that we have sufficient proof to prepare our first set of formal indictments against certain executives of the Pan-Caribbean Corporation. Our proof takes the form of invoices, canceled checks, and secret memoranda, all pointing to the fact that Pan-Caribbean is, in fact, controlled by members of organized crime.
And so, do we get to see this evidence, or do we just take it on faith?
It's all right here, Congressman. We'll supply you with copies, and you're welcome to study them, but keep this in mind. It's only the tip of the iceberg. My full report will follow, showing that these indictments are only the beginning. That's all I have to say at this time.
Oh, gentlemen. Order, please.
Quiet. Congressman Clegg, Senator Weston, does this information answer your concerns, or do you have any other questions?
Yes, I'd like to see this so-called evidence first.
I'm satisfied, Ed.
Fine. Then I declare this closed session adjourned. With one warning, gentlemen. The press is waiting outside, and I urge you to remember that all information said inside this room is not to go beyond it.
Nice going.
This time. But mark my words, McCandless. These little scraps of information won't keep the committee happy for long. You better move fast. Or else you won't even be able to run for a dog catcher.
Oh, I intend to, Congressman.
Mark, goodbye, Congressman.
Bye. Judson?
Congressman?
So, Granddad, you find out where this came from? Did you get in touch with the office?
Yes. It was delivered by special delivery, and nobody seemed to remember the name of the company, and we did not get a receipt for it.
Nothing at all. Then who the hell bailed us out of this?
The Secret on the premiere of the George Burns Comedy Week.
We only have a half hour.
All Wednesday.
Coast clear?
Let's home.
Your mother had to make a call. Oh, by the way, when I came down here, I had the switchboard route all my calls. Did anything come in while I was gone?
No, and listen, about that reporter or anybody else wants to talk to you, no interviews. Without my permission, you got that?
Hey, listen, you have to warn me, Doc. I'm just as skittish about the press as you are.
Oh, I'm not skittish.
Yeah, reads that way to me. What's the matter? Don't you want to be a hero?
Listen, Morgan, the day that you walk out of here, I will stand up in front of national television if that's what they want, but not until then.
Never the cynic, huh? All right. But I'll tell you, you better get that speech prepared, Doc, because I am walking out of here and soon.
Thomas, Jared, you won't believe what just happened. I just talked to Tyler, and he not only did not resign, but he managed to turn this whole thing into a major triumph.
What happened?
Well, it's all kind of mysterious, but some evidence arrived at the last minute.
I'm sorry, Thomas, but that reporter, Megan Belvoir, she's managed to corner Dr. Ramirez, and she's grilling her about Mr. Morgan's surgery in the doctor's lab.
Oh, let her in there in the first place.
You were saying something about evidence?
I don't know the whole story, but it seems that a mysterious envelope arrived for Tyler, and it contained exactly the kind of evidence that he needed to get the committee office back.
Mysterious envelope.
Well, no one knows who or where it came from.
But it was enough to... I mean, the committee's going to be all right.
Yeah. Mr. Morgan, you didn't have something to do with this, did you?
Me? Don't be ridiculous.
I can't believe I'm wasting a whole hour on lunch.
Will you stop? You needed sustenance, and I'm here to make sure you get it. Not to mention my dazzling company.
Well, I'm going to pay for it later, though. I'm going to be there till midnight.
Well, then you can count on me to arrive with champagne and pizza to celebrate. And I guarantee it'll be a lot more fun than the official reception tomorrow.
Oh, you'll get no argument out of me on that one. And no more argument on eating here either. I'm famished.
Mr. Sloan.
God knows where that evidence came from at the 11th hour. But it managed to save McAllister's hide once more.
So what, Trey? You will still be seen as the congressman who tried to protect the taxpayers' dollars. It is no great loss. Besides, right now we have more important things to consider. For one, my party in New York. And Trey, you would not believe the list of people that I have rounded up to honor my brilliant husband. Here's the list.
It's quite a list.
Well, aren't you excited? I expected to see some fireworks or something.
Tell me, how do you do it? Juggle a Cold War in our marriage and yet plan this kind of party for me?
You really don't understand me at all, do you, Trey?
Cigar is ready. Follow me. The best in the house, I hope.
Well, certainly didn't take long for Kelly to replace you, did it, darling?